How's it going, everyone? I think you should be able to hear me. I think there are just a couple people here now, but yeah, it is ugly out there. I actually just saw Bitcoin hit, what was it, $60,000 on the dot? Sorry, I'm just waiting for this to come in because I'm also watching on my phone to make sure that you can see it. Okay, sounds like you can hear me too. Yeah, Bitcoin just hit 60,000. It's actually bouncing a bit now. Let's go to the 1 minute here. Let's zoom out. 60,000, like on the dot. Altcoins falling down massively too. I decided to go live, and I don't go live very often, as you might know. I was actually winding down with the family, but I feel like we should chat, right? I feel like there are probably some people out there that need some positive thoughts. Solana was under 70, went down to 67. Like I thought we'd see some support around 80. We've seen a lot of price action around 80 in the past. Some support went straight below it, went down to 68, $67. Ethereum down massively too. All this is bouncing a little bit right now, but I mean, yeah, we're down 18% on the day for Solana and only 14% for Bitcoin. It's crazy, right? We're down massively. Let me reload this page here. Down 14% on the day. I mean, this seems like a long day. Sorry, you can't even see what I'm looking at here. Here we go. You should be able to see now, and we'll move over here. Yeah, we're down. Like the market's down massively. How much are we down? What did Bitcoin even start the day at? Well, a month ago it was 94,000. Don't look at that. 73,000. So we have a God candle to the downside here today. People are still filing in. I just want to, riff a little bit before we start. I see people, asking questions. Some people are saying, hey, yeah, appreciate everyone for being in here. I don't even know what this fan thing is. But yeah, we'll talk about the market for a little bit here. I'll talk and then we can go through some questions. Curious, I like to ask this. What's everyone drinking today? I'm guessing people are drinking something. I just poured myself an E.H. Taylor small batch. Really good whiskey. I actually had it with a family member last night. I didn't tell him how much it was, and we were trying some really pretty expensive whiskeys. And I said, how much do you think this is? He said, $300. That's a $300 bottle. It's 80. It is really good. It's hard to find, but it's really good. Ooh, hazy hearted. That's good. I'm drinking creatine right now. Sam smashing one of his 10 drinks per week. Yeah, you might be right. Don't be a smoke some herb. Yeah, everyone always thinks that I do smoke, but I don't actually. I don't smoke at all or do any edibles or anything like that. Coffee, nice. All right. Yeah, brave man going live when lots of people are whining right now. Yeah, I mean, the fact is some people can weather these storms fairly well, right? Mentally, it's not too tough. And some, it's like a real psychological issue to have drops like this, right? Like it really affects you. And it can be actually like dangerous for people that can't cope well or handle it well, or maybe they have other stuff going on. So yeah, I want to be here for people that need it. And we can talk about, maybe some of the silver linings, some of the harsh truths, that kind of thing. Now, before I answer questions and stuff, I'm glad everyone's here. Let me just say that. I am adding to spot bags, small amounts, right? I've been saying this in so many videos, dollar cost averaging. I have been trading a bit too, but honestly, it's been tough to trade, I guess, unless you're short. But there basically been no relief rally. So I will continue stair stepping down. By the way, partner of the channel, if you want to check out Ubit or BidFi, there are links to them underneath the video. You can get some bonuses essentially free money with those bonuses, and you can always cash it out or do whatever you want with it. But yeah, it's a tough time in the market. Let's look at what happened today. Obviously, like I said, Bitcoin falling down $10,000, right? Ethereum falling down. What was it at the beginning of the day? 2,150. It's down 300. Solana, the beginning of the day was 92, right? If we go back a week ago, 117. Go back a month ago, 138. Go back a year ago, 207. Yeah, a lot of people missed out on selling altcoins this cycle. I think you just kind of, I mean, I don't want to say you have to sit on them, but yeah, if you sell now, you are selling at a pretty huge loss, right? For a lot of altcoins. So I do have some alts, but it's a minimal part of my portfolio. Even during the bull market, it was 20% at the peak, I think, between trading bags and altcoins. But yeah, now it's probably like 5%, if that. I feel like there are some smaller altcoins that grew to be kind of big bags, and then maybe you take profits on them, but they just kind of dwindle away if you don't completely cash out. Now, crypto is not the only thing trading like meme coins right now. Amazon down 11% after hours after being down 4.42%. I actually did some really large buys after the market closed for Amazon. I actually bought it really heavily. It basically hit earnings expectations. It beat on revenue a little bit, but yeah, they announced massive capex, $200 billion when the street was expecting 145 billion. A lot of these companies are showing that even if they grow operating income next year, they're going to be basically free cash flow zero. And I'm bringing this up even if you're just interested in crypto, because this affects crypto. If there's scares in the broader market, right? If major tech companies are selling off 25%, I mean, Amazon sold off 15% today. It's not near all-time highs. It wasn't even like at all-time highs today, right? The all-time high, let's see, I think it was this year actually, or close. Yeah, I think it was the beginning of the year, 250 basically. So it's down 20% or so from the top, 25%, something like that. I bought a lot of this today because they're still growing very quickly. They're reaccelerating their AWS business. And actually, I wanted to pull this up. Operating cash flow, I think, is the best way to value these companies instead of net income, which can be thrown off by some investments that they make, or looking at free cash flow, because free cash flow takes out all the different things that they're investing in, like the AI spend and the AI infrastructure and all that. I look at operating cash flow. This allows you to basically take out, well, it's very close to net income in a way, but there are a couple different things. They're different. Net income includes accruals and non-cash items. So it's just like a clean way to look at growth of their operating business, like their true profitability. If they took out all those, all the CapEx investments. So their price to operating cash flow is at 18.4. This is before the drop. So it is near the lowest point in the past years. I actually saw someone else show a chart that's at the lowest point since 2009. 2009. It's not very expensive. Now, to be clear, they're growing a lot slower than they have been like 15 years ago. But still, like, there are companies like Amazon, like Meta, like Google. Google's a little bit higher priced, higher valuation right now, but Microsoft, they're trading pretty cheap, right? So I'm out there buying these things. Now, of course, you look at crypto, and crypto's selling off a lot too. But you also have to realize that typically we fall for a while from here. I've shown the chart before. Let me pull it up. And you guys can feel free to start asking some questions too, if you have any. But otherwise we can just chat. Rational Root, I think, posted recently. It shows how long we typically go through bear markets. Let me just scroll to it real quick. Here we go. This is the Bitcoin cycle spiral chart. peaks at the end of 2022, 2021, 2025, 2017, 2013. This is where we peak out. Then almost exactly 1 year later is the typical bottom. Now, we've already fallen 50%. So even if we fall to like basically the same level percent-wise as we did the last cycle, we could still fall another 50% from here, which would put us around $30,000. That's about 75% down from the high. A little bit more than 75, 76, 77, something like that. We could fall further. So I always have a hard time if crypto and high quality companies are in massive sell-offs. I have been leaning towards buying those high quality companies just because I already had a large Bitcoin position for my portfolio, got up into the mid 30s range this bull market, towards the beginning of the bull market. So, and before that, I think it was even higher, maybe in the bear market. But yeah, I've been trying to diversify a bit, especially because my income's so tied to the crypto market as well. So yeah, we could go through some more pain. Altcoins could get hit harder, but I'm going to start dollar cost averaging heavier. Just a few days ago, I had my dollar cost average. I guess that was Monday because it was the end of the month. I looked at what I made last month, and then I put a percentage of that, small percentage, into Bitcoin. I've been doing that for a few months. I might have to up it. It might have to go up pretty significantly because it is a very small amount right now, but I might have to up it because Bitcoin's getting to a more and more attractive risk reward standpoint, but we could go further too. So I'm practicing some caution there, right? And there have been a lot of V-shaped recoveries for the stock market, which Bitcoin doesn't typically follow that, right? It follows the bull market and then sell off for a year, recover, but still kind of bleak for a year, and then 2-year bull market again. So yeah, we might have to wait a while. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit shorter than usual, but yeah, I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see. Any questions out there? Any questions? King Shroom says, ride the wave. It's not the end of the world, and people have been here multiple times. Shut the noise off and touch grass for a while. Yeah, totally agree. If you're having a tough time, might be time to go outside. It's very cold here, and I'm still going out. I went outside an hour ago for like a 30-minute walk with the Bitcoin baby. I saw something interesting earlier too. Let's see if I can pull it back up. Twitter's just X is so hard to refine stuff that you like came across an hour ago. Okay. Bitcoin Hall of Fame drawdowns. June 2011. I have not verified this, by the way, but June 2011, 99% down. April 2013, 43% down. This is in a day, right? In a day, supposedly. 43% down. December 2013, 50% down. December 2017, 33. The only thing is it doesn't say the actual date, which is kind of weird, but we're already down 14% just today. So I think it's talk about the worst days in these months. March 2020 down 50%. May 2021 30%. So yeah, I mean, this is a bad day. This is like one of the worst days that we've seen in 5 years, like top 3 or 4, but it's not unprecedented, right? I mean, if you go back to the bull market and said, what do you think is going to happen in the bear market? Do you think we could draw down 50% in 4 months? Yeah, you can look at every past bear market and that happens. 70% from all-time highs is 38K. We likely go lower. Yeah. So I think we could as well. What percent Bitcoin are you in terms of your net worth? Oh, I don't know if I've said this recently. Should I give an exact percentage? I feel like I'd want to know. I have some Bitcoin ETFs that I include in my Bitcoin net worth, right? So it's not all pure form Bitcoin. I've been actually focusing on that more because I think it's safer from a security aspect. I mean, people are crazy. And yeah, it's the world I think is getting a little bit less safe as time goes on. And that's one of the pros and cons of crypto is that you can self-custody. And, you know, I've heard horror stories. So I'm very cautious about that. I'm security lockdown more in focusing a lot more on ETFs the last few years when I've been stacking. So liquid net worth, I guess after this dip, it's gone down. Let's see. At one point it was higher. Well, actually up in like for the last 2 years, it's been higher because I've been diversifying. And then, yeah, we're obviously down a lot. Let's see. About 15%. About 15%. So some dirty details there. It was a lot higher. As I said, it was like 35% maybe in the bull. And I've made money since that point too, which hasn't gone back into Bitcoin really, except for the small DCAs. Corey, okay, yeah, you say you ask other YouTubers that and they won't respond. I talk to other YouTubers about it too, and I'd say there's some older crypto influencers that maybe are a little bit lower because they're a little bit risk off, just because of their age. But the people that I know that this is going to sound bad, but there are some degenerate people that are 100% crypto, and it can fluctuate what they're invested in. But the people that I know that are like pretty smart and wise with their money, and like aren't super emotional. Again, this sounds bad because a lot of Bitcoiners think that like you should be 100%, but generally that's very difficult as an influencer because your emotions run a little bit high anyways because your income is so tied to crypto's price. But a lot of the people I know are between 5 and 25% Bitcoin. And I think I heard Benjamin Cowan today say that in the bull market, he likes to get up to about 20% Bitcoin or so. I was talking to someone else that was maybe 40 or 50% a couple months ago as well. Someone that's been Bitcoin for a long time. But I know people in real life that are what I would think probably much wealthier than I am. Like maybe an order or two of magnitude wealthier than I am. And they're like 90% Bitcoin, if not more. So it's kind of wild. It can change a lot. But their businesses aren't tied to crypto either. Some people are saying, yeah, 30K, 38K. I heard Graham Stephan too, who was kind of I don't want to say anti-crypto, but not very bullish on crypto until I'd say the last couple of years. I think he had 1 to 3% maybe over the last 4 or 5 years. But I think I remember him saying that he's now like 15%, which now it might be 10%, but kind of interesting because he's pretty risk off. This is where fortunes are made, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the last cycle and you had bought when the market was down 50%, you'd be buying at 35,000. We got cut in half again from there. But you wait a year or two, we're back at 35,000. You could sell now for double the price, right? Even after everything that we've gone through, you would be up, what, 3.5x to the high? So yeah, it's typically not a bad time to be buying when the market's down this much. Let me remove this. Love your videos with the 24-hour warnings. I appreciate it. Thoughts on chain alts? Thoughts on 4 chain alts? Yeah, I think a lot of altcoins are going to zero over time. I think a lot of them are trading vehicles, and then a lot of people didn't make money on them, so they're just kind of soured on them. To be fair, though, there are projects that hit new all-time highs this cycle that hadn't the cycles before. Think about XRP. But yeah, I think a lot of people trade these not for the technology, or they're not buying them for the technology. They're not buying it for the self-custody. They're buying it because they want the number to go up. So it's hard to see what the next bull run is going to look like in terms of narratives. But yeah, it's typically hard to see that during the bear markets too. How long do I think it will go? I think I kind of answered that with the spiral chart, but you can go back. Bitcoin baby's good. I could hear him yelling a second ago. He's having a good time. You are an imposter. Ban me. You can think whatever you like. Everything is doing horrible except for Clash. Aha, right. Yeah, a lot of people have been telling me to check out Clash. I actually just was talking to George the other day. He told me that there's something new going on with it, like a bets, I think. But I haven't really checked out in a little bit, to be honest, except for what he told me. Might need 12 beers if you got leverage. Uh, Seems like the drop is less every cycle. Does the 70% drop seem more realistic than 77%? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we could see even less than that. Who knows? But I thought that the $48,000 level kind of stood out to me because we saw resistance in the last cycle coming out of the bear market. We saw some resistance when we tried to go back up. And then this cycle, we saw resistance, and we also saw support during the crash throughout the summer of 2024. And that's about 60% down. Right? So if you think, well, we didn't really go up that much this cycle compared to previous cycles. But if we break below that, yeah, we could, unless you think Bitcoin's going away forever, $30,000, $40,000 Bitcoin, really good buys. I mean, those are historically the bottoms of the bear markets. But yeah, I will probably be buying fairly heavy, even though I won't feel like it at 50,000. But I'm still dollar cost averaging in the meantime. Jerome Miller says, at what point does the Bitcoin baby become the Bitcoin boy? Good question. He's basically a toddler now, crawling around and throwing stuff and all kinds of climbing on stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Let's see. Beer whiskey, 55K. About at 120K, says Oscar. Yeah, well, now you get to buy a little bit lower, right? Sam, please hook up or link up. Hook up with Rob, Digital Asset News soon. It'll be good to have you both on joint stream again soon. Yep, I would love to do that. I like Rob a lot. I might actually see him in a couple months. I need to get my link for it, but yeah, I'm going to be speaking at the Bitcoin conference. I just booked tickets today, but yeah, I'm going to be speaking with Brian Harrington. He asked me to join. He's an OG Bitcoiner, I think over a decade in now, or maybe exactly a decade this year. And I think one of the Altcoin Daily brothers are we're going to be on a panel. So Brian's going to host it, talking about Bitcoin and personal finance, how to juggle real estate with crypto or with Bitcoin specifically, and stocks and that kind of thing, how to think of cash and that kind of stuff. So that'll be fun. I'm actually really looking forward to that. I really like the Bitcoin conference. I mean, it's a little bit repetitive. If you've been to two, I think it generally gets kind of more boring. I've been going to them since 2021. I can't remember if I missed one in there, but they are pretty fun. And it's at the Venetian. So if you've never been to Vegas, it's kind of a fun experience because the Venetian's really cool. Graham said he was 20%. Oh, cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I remember sending it to people when I heard that. It was like, I think it was buried in a podcast, but I was surprised by that. Did anyone else see the 1 minute candle where we went up to 69K and then back down to no? Wonder what exchange that was, but yeah. I have a limit for 59,999. Didn't hit. Must be the floor. Tony says it's much easier to buy at a low price the first time than wait for a scary high. Much more will jump aboard now. I don't understand why people are mad. We need this. It's not ATM. Patience is key. Yeah, I mean, the fact is Bitcoin is the same asset it was a month ago. Right? Like if you're bearish now, tell me what fundamentally changed. Or 3 months ago. Like what has changed that makes you bearish on Bitcoin? I think for most people it's the price. But that's not a good reason to be bearish on something long term, right? Does this change where Bitcoin goes over the next 10 years in terms of price? I don't think so. I don't think this drop, if we drop to only $67,000 today instead of 60,000, I don't think that's going to change the price in 10 years. So yeah, you just get a lower price if you're going to buy anymore. And if you're going to hold, doesn't really matter, except for just looking at your net worth. But I still get the emotional component, right? Invest with Doc. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the money too. I don't. It's been so long since I've went live. I don't even remember what that's called. The super chat. Awesome watching your channel grow since COVID. Cool. Appreciate it, man. Go check out Invest with Doc too. We've met in person, talked online, all that good stuff for years now. So check out his channel. But yeah, it's been a long ride. I think I've gained a few gray hairs, but it's been good overall. If you can dollar cost average, you've probably made money in crypto. Dollar cost average Bitcoin though. DCRCCS19A said, could you comment on the power law, historically unbroken support line? Honestly, I don't even remember what the power law is. Maybe it's the remember power law. Let me just pull this up. If it's something quick, I can talk about it. Bitcoin's price grows linearly based on a log scale, creating a predictable long-term trajectory related to time rather than just market cycles. Suggests that Bitcoin could be $1 million by the 2030s. Yeah, I would have to look more into that about the support line at $50,000. But I mean, every single bear market, there's something that hasn't been done before. Like what last bear market, I think we went below the 200 week for much longer than we ever had. Like before, it had been historically a great time to buy if you got under the 200 week moving average, because we only stayed down there for a few days. This last one, I forgot what the time was, but it was months and months that you could buy under the 200 week. So yeah, the bear markets have a way of crushing people. Crypto busyness says, buy all these and hold. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be buying all those, to be honest. I'd stick more to Bitcoin than a lot of those. I mean, a lot of those are at what, like lower points, I think, than they were even in 2022. Let's someone said that Avalanche is actually lower. Let's pull that up. Avalanche, I think, is a fine crypto. Like it works well. I've used it to transact and move money around. Look at this. What, the bottom of the bear market in 2023? It looks like it was around 890 or so. Maybe intraday it was lower, but yeah, it actually started to rally much later than I think a lot of other things, because Bitcoin, I thought, bottomed out at the end of 2022, but AVAX $9.50, $9, $8.90. It's at 830 now. So I mean, you could go back to 2020 and it was a little bit lower, but yeah, some of these cryptos are lower than they were even in the bear market, and they're top altcoins. So yeah, I'd be careful. I'd still be careful. Hear me out. You, Connor, and Tyler all go live at the same time. Yeah, we should do that. That'd be fun. We used to do that with Steven as well, way back in the day. Let me know if anyone was around back then. Totally different market back then. Good work, Samtoshi. These live videos are awesome. I'm glad you guys like it. Like I said, had to get approval from the wife and leave the family for a couple minutes, but I figured people would appreciate it. Let's see. Hey, Sam, can I get a shout out from Gilroy, California? I watch your videos every day. The Gambler. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, man. Let's see. Fear and Greed at 11. Kind of surprised it's not. Well, I'm not even kind of surprised. I am surprised it's not lower. I just sold my car and went all in. Hopefully, I don't have to ride the bus for too long. All right. Let's see if anyone has any other burning questions. I told my wife that I'd be done about a minute ago, so probably should get going. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes behind. Hmm. I know it sounds wrong, but I'm thinking about buying memes again. You could. Um, how about selling covered calls on ETH in this market? I think that would probably be a bad idea. I mean, when you sell covered calls, you're taking away your upside, right? You're selling it for premium. Um, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to sell away upside when we're down so much. But I could be wrong. I mean, we could go further down so you can make money in the short term. But I did some covered calls on equities back in 2022, just a small portion of my portfolio, like 5 or 10%. It underperformed though, because that was a bad time to do it because we were at lows, right? Uh, but I could be wrong. Just my thinking. Someone Frosted Flakes says we definitely bottom, no more dropping. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe temporary bottom, but every hour we've been dropping essentially. All right. A lot of compliments. What was Trump's announcement? Good question. I didn't see anything about it, but about half an hour ago, I saw there's a post from, I don't know, like 8 hours ago or something that timed up perfectly with like Trump RX. Something about like Trump RX, which I think is probably what, prescriptions or something like that. But it was from the White House official Twitter. It's kind of weird. All right. What's my opinion on Sui? Like a lot of cryptos, I think there's some good tech, but yeah, I don't want to hold it throughout the bear market. Long 10x USDC. Yeah, USDT and USDC have been outperforming for sure recently. All right, appreciate everyone being here. Hope everyone's okay. Maybe time to go touch grass or have fun with friends or something like that. Take a step away. Don't look at your portfolio for a couple days. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, though, because it's the end of the market, end of the week, options expiring, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, should be interesting. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me see if there's anything else we need to cover, just if there's any piece of news from Twitter. In 2018, this is the day that Bitcoin found a low at just below $6,000. That low more or less held until Q4. This is from Benjamin Cowan. Yeah, I mean, if you held since 2018, it'd still be up 10x. Yeah, I don't think there's too much going on here. Anything else that we need to cover? Appreciate you all being here. Talk soon. Bye.